India, good evening. This is the Newshour agenda. My name is Pranesh. You would remember on July 18, 26 opposition parties held the second round of the unity meeting in Bengaluru. Pictures on your screen. And the alliance chose to name itself I.N.D.I.A. When the opposition leaders announced the new name, they said that this grouping was aimed at saving the democratic institutions which they alleged were under attack in India. But today it turns out that the truth has come out. The objective of Team India, I.N.D.I.A, was something else. Before we tell you what we mean, listen in to the Congress chief, Mallikarjun Kharge, announcing the name of the new alliance.
And 2024 election, we will fight unitedly and we will come out with great success. Therefore, once again I thank all leaders, those who are sitting here, this Indian National Development Inclusive Alliance. Once again, I will repeat, Indian National Developmental Inclusive Alliance. This is the name we have given. There is a lot of meaning in this.
We want to save democracy. That is what leaders of Team India said, both in Patna and then in Bengaluru. India Alliance has been formed out of majboori. That is the truth. I'm not saying it. This is what Congress's top leader, in fact, leader of the Congress in Lok Sabha, Adhir Ranjan Choudhury, in an interview to I.N.D.I.A said that all opposition parties have decided to come together as they've realized that Modi-Shah juggernaut can't be stopped alone. You have to listen to it to believe what he said.
एनडीए कह रहा था कि जब ये कोलिशन बना है तो इट इज अ रिएक्शन ऑफ फियर. जब इंडिया के नुमाइंदों से बात करते हैं तो वो कहते हैं कि एनडीए जो है वो मर सा गया था, आईसीयू में चला गया था और इंडिया के डर से एनडीए फिर से आ गया है.
देखिए, सारे विपक्ष सबको लगा कि इस समय जो मोदी और शाह की जो जगरनाट चलते हैं, हिंदुस्तान में जो त्राही त्राही मचा चुके हैं, सबको रुकने के लिए अकेले दम पे ये रुक नहीं पाएंगे. इसलिए सबको एकजुट होने जरूरी है. ये अब जरूर कह सकते, ये जरूरी है सबको एकजुट होना, एकजुट रहना. समुद्र में आप देखे हैं कि जब तीमी मछली गुजारते हैं तो छोटे छोटे जितने मछली होते हैं सब एकजुट होकर तीमी मछली की आकार धारण कर लेते हैं बचने के लिए, क्योंकि तीमी को ये लगे कि एकजुट होने से ये इसका भी ताकत बढ़ जाएगी. तो एनडीए को ये भी लगेगा अगला दिन कि ये नया इंडिया हमसे टकराने में काफी ताकतवर है, तो सीधे रास्ता अपनाएंगे. ये भी तो हो सकता है. ये मजबूरी है, जरूर मजबूरी है. मजबूरी तो पॉलिटिक्स में तो मजबूरी जरूर रहते हैं.
कॉम्प्रोमाइज और मजबूरी
जरूर है. ये तो पॉलिटिक्स की नियमों के अंदर होते हैं.
You heard Adhir Ranjan Choudhury, compromise, majboori, his words, not ours. The BJP called Adhir's comments an acceptance, admission of defeat. They say it is the fear of Modi that has brought the opposition parties together. Listen to reactions coming in.
ये कोई भी एक साथ एक पटल पर किसी मिशन और विशन के लिए नहीं, केवल मजबूरी में साथ आए हैं. और अगर इस मजबूरी के नाम पर ये लोग एक होते हैं तो इनका एजेंडा क्या होगा, इनकी नीति क्या होगी और ये किस प्रकार से नेतृत्व दे पाएंगे, ये देश की जनता जानती है. देश की जनता किसी मजबूरी वाले गठबंधन को नहीं, मजबूती वाले नेता को चाहती है. और इसीलिए 2024 में भी लोग इस मजबूरी वाले नहीं, मजबूती वालों के साथ ही खड़े रहेंगे.
इसमें तो इसका पूरा उन्होंने देश के सामने बात रख दिया कि मोदी जी को कोई रोक नहीं सकते हैं, बीजेपी को कोई रोक नहीं सकते हैं, और ये मजबूरी के लिए वो बनाया है, जो ये हार उन्होंने स्वीकार कर लिया है. धन्यवाद देती हूँ अधीर रंजन चौधरी को.
On what context Adhir Ranjan is told, I don't know, but main thing is that politics is of give and take, and when we work with people, we have to lose our whatever stand we take it.
Disquiet is already being felt within the Congress camp over Adhir Ranjan Choudhury's comments. Listen to senior Congress leader from Haryana who says Adhir should toe the party line and that views expressed by him are his own, not that of Team India or that of the Congress party.
Adhir Ranjan Choudhury has his own views, but the High Command has taken a decision. whether Mallikarjun Kharge is a Congress president, Rahul Gandhi is our leader, they have taken a decision to work together as the India alliance. So he has to follow he has to toe the line, whatever the High Command says. He is not the Congress. Whatever the High Command says, that will take place, and that is the direction. And he has to follow the direction and toe the line.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Let's open this up quickly. Sanju Verma, the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Smita Prakash, editor, I.N.D.I.A, political commentator, Taran Verma, author, political analyst, Tehseen Poonawalla, political analyst, Professor Subodh, spokesperson of the RJD, Kishore Tiwari completes the panel, leader of the UBT. Smita Prakash, because we have the pleasure of your company, were you expecting this answer from Adhir Ranjan Choudhury when you asked him this question?
I think he was being extremely honest. He did say that it's a compulsion of the times. I don't think any element in that I.N.D.I.A grouping, India grouping, is doing it because they are so thrilled to be together. They are not. It was so evident, whether in Patna or Bengaluru, that they're together because of, it's not possible to take on the BJP individually. Even the Congress admits that. So it's not as if he was dishonest about it. He was honest about it. But at the same time, you ran a bite in which the person says that he has to toe the line. At no point did Adhir Ranjan during the podcast say that he's not going to toe the line of the Congress High Command. Of course, he will. Look, in any party, when these kind of movements take place, it's not as if it's comforting for the rank and file of the party. If you notice that even when Ajit Pawar made the switch and came over to the coalition with Shinde and Fadnavis, it's not as if the rank and file of the BJP liked it, but they have to take it because that's the way the dice rolls. So I don't think there's anything wrong in what Adhir Ranjan said, and it's quite evident to everybody in the Congress that he's not a happy man if he has to accept the seat allocation which happens. And it's not just him, it's going to happen in every state. I think 10 states they are in power, but what about the states? The other in 10 states, the Congress party and the I.N.D.I.A grouping is in power in those states. Now, in those states, they will have to make the accommodation for others. They're not going to like it. So it's going to be hard for all of them. I think we're going to see more of these kind of statements.
Okay, the truth has come out. Tehseen, has the truth come out?
At the onset, I want to take this opportunity to congratulate Smita ji on a fabulous podcast once again. I've had the pleasure of being on 2 of her podcasts, and Smita ji has this quality of being very charming and bringing the truth out of you. So I want to tell you, there's no way you can lie on your podcast. Smita ji has seen far too much, so you can't escape. So that is kudos to Smita ji. But I saw the podcast with Adhir Ranjan Choudhury. I, in fact, tweeted about it, and I think it was a very honest, candid podcast, as a podcast should be. It was a political podcast. Here is the Congress leader in West Bengal and the Congress leader in the Lok Sabha who's saying, look, we have problems with the TMC, just like the BJP has problems with Akali Dal, but the Honorable Prime Minister Amit Shah ji and Nadda ji have reached out to the Akali Dal like they've reached out to Jagan. We have problems. Yes, we have problems. But that is at a state level. At a national level, we need to come together because mathematically we have to defeat the BJP and the N.D.A. And I think that is fine in politics. I don't think we should try and look at too much within this. If you're trying to find too much into this, just look within the BJP. Forget even Ajit Pawar right now. Within the rank and file of the BJP, note what I'm saying. There is so much dissatisfaction at the moment, so much dissatisfaction with some of the people who've been now put in the parliamentary committee and made secretaries who walked up from the
no one is no one in the BJP or N.D.A is saying majboori. I mean, that's a brave defense. I mean, I was expecting that from you, but you've done a good job. But even you know it that nobody in the BJP or N.D.A has said that this is majboori. Sanju Verma?
Yes. Okay. Pranesh, I just have Tehseen, please.
Sorry.
You've had your say. Please, you will get your turn again.
It's an error.
Thank you.
I'm at a distance.
Thank you.
I'm at a distance.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. So, Pranesh, let me just say this. I've said this on a zillion debates on your channel. that the Congress is a divided house, and it's not just the Congress. This fractious alliance of 26 electorally debilitated parties who've decided to come together without a common goal, a common agenda, or a common minimum program, driven only by one common goal, ki Modi hatao. So apart from their visceral hatred for Narendra Modi, that is the only binding glue. There is nothing which binds them. Having said that, I'm not surprised at what Adhir Ranjan Choudhury said about the majboori of an alliance, because don't forget, it's out in the public domain. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure that out, that Adhir Ranjan Choudhury and Mamata Banerjee have been at each other's throat and have been at loggerheads with each other, just like Pratap Singh Bajwa of the Congress has been calling out the bluff of the Bhagwant Singh Mann government in Punjab. The limited point I'm making is that Congress has been known to dismiss and ignore its regional satraps, and this time it is no different. For instance, look at Maharashtra. Why is it that the Congress seems to be an important factor in the larger scheme of things in Maharashtra? You know, it is the BJP, then it is the Shinde faction, then it is the NCP, then perhaps the Uddhav faction. The Congress has been marginalized, and I'll tell you why in 10 seconds. Ashok Chavan does not get along with Prithviraj Chavan. Bhai Jagpal of the Congress does not get along with Nana Patole. Milind Deora does not get along with anybody else. So the fact is that Rajasthan is playing out in Maharashtra also and in Bengal also. We all know Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot have no love
No, but
for
Sanju
each other.
Verma, the larger point that you're making, are you suggesting that the Congress is in this position because they have no faith in Rahul's leadership alone, which is why they had to do this?
Absolutely. You know, I don't know if the analogy is fitting, but they say, you know, the apple does not fall far from the tree. And Andher Nagri Chaupat Raja is what Rahul Gandhi signifies. You know, being a Twitter ka share is very different from having a connect with people on the ground. Because if Twitter decided who's going to win elections, Rahul Gandhi would have been Prime Minister way back in 2014, which is what Rahul Gandhi and his family retainers don't realize.
Let me bring in
I'm sorry, I'm
Kishore
using strong
Tiwari.
language.
किशोर तिवारी जी, ये तो अंधेर नगरी वो तो जनता डिसाइड करेगी. 2024 में अंधेरा है, सवेरा है, लेकिन टीम इंडिया में तो राजा भी बहुत हैं. नीतीश कुमार हैं, राहुल गांधी हैं, और भी लोग, ममता बनर्जी हैं, अरविंद केजरीवाल हैं, और यहां पे अधीर रंजन चौधरी ने राज खोल दिए. कह दिया उन्होंने मजबूरी है हमारी.
देखो प्रणेश, आपने जो कुछ बताया, जिसके सांसद ज्यादा हो गए उसका तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर होगा, ये तो क्लियर है. अभी आपको एक बात मैं बताता हूं कि हम राइट विंग हिंदू पार्टी है, लेकिन जरूरी नहीं कि कांग्रेस की यही आइडियोलॉजी हो. हम लोग कॉमन मिनिमम प्रोग्राम्स को भारत में प्रजातंत्र को बचाने के लिए, और देखिए ये तो आपको प्रणेश को मानना पड़ेगा कि प्रजातंत्र का स्ट्रक्चर तो कमजोर हुआ ही है, लेकिन देश का सोशल फैब्रिक भी खत्म होने को जा रहा है. तो स्मिता जी ने जो पूछा उसका जवाब अधीर रंजन ने दिया. अब हम जैसे कांग्रेस के कई मुद्दों पर उनसे सरोकार नहीं रखते ना.
अच्छा स्मिता जी यहाँ पे भी है. मेरे सवाल का आप जवाब नहीं देंगे, मैं स्मिता जी को ही पूछता हूँ, आपसे पूछे, आप भी सच बता दीजिए कि मजबूरी थी क्या स्मिता? इफ यू कुड आस्क दैट क्वेश्चन, मे बी द ट्रूथ विल कम आउट.
I don't think we need to ask the spokesperson at all. I think everybody has a majboori. So, and you know, it's not like what Sanju Verma was saying, that it's not rocket science
on
that
a common minimum program.
नहीं, अभी तो कोई ना तो कॉमन मिनिमम प्रोग्राम बनाए, ना तो आप किसी
देयर इज नथिंग इन कॉमन,
ना तो कोई
एवरीथिंग इज मिनिमम, और प्रोग्राम का तो पता नहीं मुझे.
अरे देखिए, बेरोजगारी ये मुद्दा है, भाईचारा ये
बेरोजगारी पे नहीं होगा. आप लोग बेरोजगारी पे आप लोग कॉमन मिनिमम प्रोग्राम बनाएंगे नहीं.
और देश को बचाना ये भी मुद्दा है. प्रजातंत्र अगर नहीं रहेगा तो 24 के बाद चुनाव होंगे.
नहीं, प्रजातंत्र बचा रहे हैं, परिवार बचा रहे हैं, पार्टी बचा रहे हैं, क्या बचा रहे हैं? करण वर्मा, ये मजबूरी है क्या? मजबूरी तो बाहर आ गई. व्हाट डू यू थिंक इज द मजबूरी? आई एम आस्किंग यू अ डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन. डू यू बिलीव they've named the alliance I.N.D.I.A to mask this मजबूरी?
No, they've renamed the alliance. Now the name is M.A.J.B.O.O.R. It is Majboor. He's used this word, Pranesh, 16 times, and I'm giving you the full form of Majboor. It is Modi-afflicted, bubble-headed, Modi-afflicted, junk, bubble-headed organization of the ridiculous. That is what their new acronym is. It is Majboor versus MAZBOOT. And Adhir Ranjan Choudhury, my respect for him has actually gone up because he's been so honest about it. And he's been honest right from day one. Ever since the Sagar Dighi episode happened, he's very clear. His state unit doesn't want to align with Mamata Banerjee. And the Congress's Delhi unit, Punjab unit, Bengal unit, all are disgruntled with it. And Tehseen has been on record saying this. So I think the biggest loser in all of this is going to be the Congress, and Adhir Ranjan Choudhury is smart enough to see this. And he's also clarified two things. One thing that has been doing the rounds is Modi डर गए, इस alliance से Modi डर गए. He's now made this clear कि डर उस तरफ था, उनसे डर के मारे ही ये सब इकट्ठे हुए. And दूसरी thing, the other thing, Pranesh, that he's made it clear is कि हमारे में दम नहीं है, छोटी छोटी मछलियां हम सब मिल गई हैं, just to show that we are a bigger fish. We are actually not a bigger fish. So I think in one interview, Adhir Ranjan Choudhury has set the narrative for 2024. It is Majboor versus MAZBOOT.
Is this the turning point in the run-up to the 2024 elections, Smita ji?
Look, I think what we are ignoring is these three major states which are going to polls. If the Congress manages to win 2 out of these 3 states that goes to polls, then they call the shots in this grouping called I.N.D.I.A. Either they call the shots in I.N.D.I.A. or else the I.N.D.I.A. disintegrates and it is just the Congress versus the BJP or Congress versus the N.D.A. If sources are to be believed, the Prime Minister is probably holding a meeting right now with members from other political parties. That's what I've heard. I'm not sure about it as yet. But that's what I'm hearing. The N.D.A. is getting its act together. The I.N.D.I. needs to get its act together. Will they get their act together, or are some sections like probably Adhir Ranjan Choudhury in the Congress waiting? Because as Tehseen has pointed out and many others have pointed out, every time a regional party comes up and the Congress loses its share, that keeps happening and the Congress becomes weaker and weaker. The point is, if they're going to take on Modi and Shah combined, which Adhir Ranjan said, that it's because of their juggernaut. I don't know why the word juggernaut is used in a negative context in India. But if that is used as their starting point, then I think the Congress will probably take the BJP head on if they win 2 out of those 3 states.
But then what happens to the India alliance, Majboor alliance? Professor Subodh has been listening to this intently, spokesperson of the RJD. Professor Subodh, ये मजबूरी आप नहीं बोल पाए, बोल दिया अधीर रंजन चौधरी ने.
Look, I was listening, and thank you for giving me an opportunity after 15 minutes, and I was listening thoroughly all those 15 minutes. The words which were expressed by our colleagues, some of the words are very hollow, The minimum program on which we have come together, you all know that the idea of India has been targeted, idea of India has been dismantled, the constitutional values has been dismantled, and when you look to the vision of the framer of the constitution, the idea of unity in diversity, the idea of democratic decentralization and social revolution has been targeted and tarnished in last 9 years. When you look to the reform policies of Narendra Modi, whether it is a structural reform or whether it is a fiscal reform, whether it is a demonetization, unstructured GST, or even agricultural passing of the bill in 2020, and after that the struggle and 700 farmers have lost their lives. And then the national education policy without any debate and discussion in the
Professor Saab, I am sorry. देखिए political science की class बना दी आपने. I am sorry to say that. With due respect, Professor Subodh, I just want to ask you. अब आपने social fabric की बात कर दी, cleaning politics की बात कर दी, राहुल गांधी, राबड़ी देवी, Tejaswi.
This is our common program.
That's not common. Corruption is a common program.
Look. Look, let me complete it. Let me complete it. You know, this is our common minimum program. And regarding corruption, I am telling you, regarding corruption, there is no corruption, and the corruption charges against Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav, Rabri Devi and Tejaswi Prasad has been framed by the CBI, ED and ID. The moment it will come to the constitutional court, all the charges will be, all the charges will be cleaned off. I am telling you with full responsibility that Narendra Modi government has run away. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has run away from the parliament, and they are not coming to the parliament discussing the Manipur issues. They are not coming in the parliament.
Adhir Ranjan Choudhury said, Professor Saab, I think you've got it mixed up in your head. Sanju Verma, respond to that.
ठीक है. Pranesh, since we are talking about majboori, the entire debate started with that one word. In 10 seconds, I want to say something. कुछ तो मजबूरियां रही होंगी, यूं कोई बेवफा नहीं होता. कुछ तो मजबूरियां रही होंगी, यूं कोई बेवफा नहीं होता. जी बहुत चाहता है कि सच बोलूं. जी बहुत चाहता है कि सच बोलूं. क्या करें? हौसला नहीं होता. क्या करें? हौसला नहीं होता. The reason I read out these lines is that there is one Adhir Ranjan Choudhury who perhaps was bold enough to lay out the bare facts in public domain. But there are many like him and Pratap Singh Bajwa who are not happy, be it in Punjab or be it in West Bengal. I dare say even in Chhattisgarh, we've known for the longest time, Bhupesh Baghel and T.S. Singhdev have no love lost for each other. Now, I will just answer some pointed allegations which have come out from the RJD and I will rebut them. यहाँ बैठकर आप डेमोक्रेसी, लोकतंत्र, social fabric, it's all nice to be jingoistic and use these bombastic terms. But let me tell you, JD giving a lecture on democracy is so puerile, and I'll tell you why. Forget the fact that right from Lalu Prasad Yadav to Rabri Devi to Tejaswi Yadav to Lalu Prasad's daughter, Mrs. Bharti, they are all accused in the cash for job IRCTC scam. I'm not even going there. But very recently, the RJD head Jagdanand Singh, his own son Sudhakar Singh had to step down from the
all of this is documented. It's a fact.
Of corruption.
Yeah.
On charges of corruption. Please, can I just take 20 seconds? I listened to this man for a long time. ये बताइए आपके खुद के आरजेडी के ठेकेदार जगदीश सिंह के सुपुत्र सुधाकर सिंह को कैबिनेट से को बर्खास्त कर दिया on charges of corruption. आप यहाँ बैठकर जब राजा हरिश्चंद्र की तरह बोलती सबकी बंद करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि आरजेडी stands for democracy, you are making a mockery of yourself.
There's an audio glitch. We'll try and fix that with your line. Just allow us a few seconds. Tehseen, you wanted to come in quickly. Professor Subodh, I'll come back to you, sir. मैं आ रहा हूँ. तहसीन को बोलने दीजिए. मेरी भी मजबूरी, हाथ उठाया था उन्होंने.
Not quickly. I'll take a little bit of time because this is about Adhir Ranjan Choudhury. So I'll take a little bit of time, and I apologize for Miyaki coming in the frame. Just two very quick points. This is a fight between I.N.D.I.A and PAK. PAK Pak, please allow Kamal. Because ये कुछ तो मजबूरी होगी कि जो इतने वर्षों में एनडीए का मीटिंग नहीं हुआ, आज लगातार एनडीए की मीटिंग्स हो रही है. एंड प्रणेश, may I suggest something by you to the audience? If anyone in the Times Now audience, a great audience, or anyone in this panelist starts a political party and has 0 MPs, they will also be called in this NDA alliance. It is very easy to stand up in parliament and thunder, मैं अकेला सब पे भारी, and then form an alliance of 38 people. आप करे तो चमत्कार, कोई और करे तो गुनहगार. ऐसा नहीं चलेगा. Second point, the only political party, national party president to be convicted is the BJP president who was convicted on camera taking money. Paisa do, chanda lo, BJP. BJP is the only national party whose president was convicted taking money on candid camera and went to jail.
Tehseen, so you are saying this, Adhir Ranjan Choudhury did not say all of this.
If PAK, please allow me to finish. Please allow me to finish. If PAK, that is PAK. If PAK, that is PAK. And listen, I'm at a distance. I cannot, I do not want to be...
So make your point, yes.
If PAK, that is PAK, that is please allow... Thank you. If PAK, that is PAK, that is please allow Kamal, is so insecure that they have to form an alliance, Please don't come here and tell us that you are in a very secure position, because your alliance of 38 parties has no ideology, has no substance. You all threw Chirag Paswan's father's furniture on the road, and now you all are hacking it. So you all have no right to...
Tehseen, this is not about NDA. This is about Adhir Ranjan Choudhury exposing or admitting the majboori of Team India.
PAK. It's not NDA, it's PAK.
You call it PAK. Sanju Verma, respond to it. Smita ji, I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you. Sanju Verma, quick rebuttal.
Yes, a very quick rebuttal is this. Let us not have this debate between 38 versus 26. In any alliance, it is the fulcrum which decides how the alliance will play out. In the NDA, BJP is the fulcrum. In the I.N.D.I.A, whatever, Congress is the fulcrum. So BJP at 303, Congress at 52. Comparison ही नहीं है. There is no comparison at all, because as far as numbers go, and numbers will decide who will be in the hot seat in Lok Sabha 2024. Tehseen Poonawalla or Sanju Verma having a wordplay on national television will not decide even the narrative war, much less the outcome of Lok Sabha 2024.
No, it's an interesting point you're making, and Smita ji, I want to talk to you about the narratives. Elections are about, shaping a narrative, championing a narrative. Do you believe that this comment on your show by Adhir Ranjan Choudhury has the power to change the narrative?
No, I don't think so, Pranesh. I think what happens is that the BJP is very quick to pick on points which can shape its narrative. The Congress plays catch up on this. This is what happens. I think Adhir Ranjan said something very honest and very forthright, something that the congressmen have been saying it behind closed doors. He said it in the open, right? Now, this is not something for them to be embarrassed about. I think the Congress should be absolutely blasé about it, clear about it, that yes, sure, we have taken on this thing. Is not a happy situation, but we have taken it on because we don't have the numbers. What is there to be embarrassed about admitting the truth? I don't think they need to shy away from that. That having been said, I think the PAK narrative that Tehseen is saying, I'm sorry, Tehseen, I completely disagree with you. PAK stands for Pakistan, and let's not bring PAK into this. Let's not bring Pakistan into this. That's absolutely wrong. Park that aside and don't repeat this. The other thing that I want to say is that I've said this time and again on Times Now, and I'm repeating it today, that if the NDA is meeting tonight just before midnight, and if the NDA is meeting again and again, that's because the BJP never takes it lightly. They might make fun of the Congress, they might make fun of this I.N.D.I.A grouping, but they'll never forget that it was a Vajpayee who lost an election, a Vajpayee who was adored by this country, and this country decided to vote Mr. Vajpayee out. Right? So they will never take it for granted. They will fight every election like it's the last election they are fighting. And that is why, because of the challenge of the I.N.D.I.A, they have no embarrassment in getting that NDA together. They might say something else, their spokespersons might say something else, but the fact is that every battle is important for the BJP.
Karan, quickly.
You know, Smita ji made an interesting point that this was always being said under closed doors, behind closed doors, but now it's out in the open. You remember, Pranesh, back in 2014, everybody knew that Dr. Manmohan Singh is the accidental PM. But when Sanjay Baru wrote that book, the Prime Minister referenced that multiple times. The then contender for Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, referenced that a number of times, and it further consolidated the narrative that we have an accidental Prime Minister in the chair. I think this is going to be a turning point, and the word majboor is going to stick around. And when Tehseen says there are 38 parties, well, there may be 38 parties or not, but they are very clear on who their leader is. Mr. Adhir Ranjan Choudhury in the same interview has said Rahul Gandhi doesn't want to be the Prime Minister. So they do not have a face, they do not have a leadership, they do not have a vision, they do not have a mission. So there's a stark difference between the two alliances there.
तिवारी जी तो आप चुप ही हो गए. आप अधीर रंजन चौधरी ने बोल क्या दिया मजबूरी, आपने तो बिल्कुल हार ही मान ली. पैनल पे भी नहीं बोल रहे हैं आप तो.
मैं बात कर लूं थोड़ा.
आप बोलिए सर, आपने तो कुछ बोला ही नहीं.
अरे परनेश, देखो मजबूर कौन है और मजबूत कौन है ये तो 24 में मालूम पड़ जाएगा. लेकिन मैं एक बात आपको बताता हूं कि पिछले भी चुनाव आप देखते हैं तो बीजेपी को 38% वोट मिले, जबकि यूपीए में जो अभी अलायंस में लोग हैं उनको 48% वोट मिले.
तिवारी जी, मेरा सीधा सवाल है, अब आप देखिए, बुरा मत मानिएगा, मुझे एक बात बताइए कि अगर आप वोट देने जाएंगे और कोई कह रहा है कि हम मजबूर हैं, मजबूरी में वोट देंगे आप या मजबूती में देंगे?
नहीं, देखो अधीर रंजन चौधरी ही बताएंगे, लेकिन मैं एक बताता हूं कि मिनिमम कॉमन प्रोग्राम को लेकर इंडिया अलायंस काम कर रहा है। और
ये आपने, मैं बताता हूं, देखिए तिवारी जी, आपने भी अभी सच बोल दिया, क्योंकि स्मिता जी पैनल पे हैं तो सबके मुंह से सच निकल रहा है। मिनिमम कॉमन प्रोग्राम ही लग रहा है, कॉमन मिनिमम नहीं है, मिनिमम कॉमन प्रोग्राम लग रहा है मुझे।
अरे क्या बात करें, नहीं आपका प्रणय, ये बात से मैं रखता हूं कि मोदी जी के वजह से या उनकी कार्य पद्धति के वजह से देश के प्रजातंत्र को खचाए। जिस प्रकार से हमारी सरकार ईडी और सीबीआई के चक्कर में गई और महाराष्ट्र और विरोधी पक्ष या प्रजातांत्रिक मूल्यों की जो आहत हुआ है उस वजह से।
तिवारी जी, ये तो आपका मानना है, जब आपकी सरकार थी महाविकास आघाड़ी, उसमें अजीत पवार भी थे। देखिए अजीत पवार क्या कह रहे हैं कि मोदी जी जैसा कोई नेता नहीं है।
एक मिनट, मैं प्रणेश एक बात मैं ऐड करता हूं। अजीत पवार का फैक्शन आने के बाद बीजेपी में जो लड़ाई हो रही है, संजू उस पर तो बात ही नहीं करते।
अब आप देखिए, आपको बीजेपी में जो लड़ाई हो रही है वो तो है, एमबीए का क्या होगा?
एमबीए खत्म।
नहीं, हम मजबूत है, हमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। जो डर गया वो मर गया, हमें नहीं, हमें कितना भी अंदर डालिए कुछ नहीं होने वाला। अगली सरकार तो हमारी है। उधर इंडिया आ रहा है, इधर एमबीए आ रहा है, आप प्रणय क्यों चिंता कर रहे हो?
संजू वर्मा, रेस्पॉन्ड टू दैट।
ओके, किशोर तिवारी ने कुछ इल्जाम लगाए, तो मैं उनको इन अ वेरी लिमिटेड मैनर आई जस्ट से दिस, द एंटायर narrative, the entire agenda, goal, mission of I.N.D.I.A is not to win. I have never seen them saying we will win 2024. They have the only agenda कि मोदी हटाओ। इनकी विक्ट्री है कि नरेंद्र मोदी जीतने नहीं चाहिए, हम चाहे पर मोदी वापस नहीं आने चाहिए। प्लीज, I did not heckle you. Keep quiet, Mr. Tiwari. Show some decency. I did not heckle you. Hold your horses. Point number 2. I just want to say this. Narendra Modi एक तरफ, Narendra Modi and then on the other side, Sonia Gandhi plus Rahul Gandhi plus Priyanka
देश बचाना एक तरफ, प्रजातंत्र बचाना एक तरफ,
plus Lalu Prasad Yadav,
प्रजातंत्र बचाना एक तरफ।
Show me one leader who has impeccable credentials, the popularity, the electoral savvy of Narendra Modi, Amit Shah.
Sanju ji, let the people decide. Let the people decide.
No, you've asked a question. Let me go through the panel. Professor Subodh, do you want to answer Sanju Verma? Who's your face?
Yes.
Who's a credible face?
Now, yes. Look, I want to answer BJP spokesperson. Ma'am, please listen. Look what BJP spokesperson is saying. She has a futile allegation against our party president, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar and the former Chief Minister of Bihar. You know that IRTC case was registered in 2005.
sir, C से C for corruption,
closed
C
by the
छूटा।
CBI. Again,
C छूट गया, IRCTC, C for corruption।
आप बोलने तो दीजिए।
बोलिए ना सर, बोलिए।
Then it was closed, again open, and ED CBI is an institution which is caged institution, and it is against
the Congress, which is on an upward trajectory ever since the Bharat Jodo Yatra happened. They have the cadre has got rejuvenated, and they have a sense of purpose. But you have a leadership out there which is totally confused because Rahul Gandhi insists that he doesn't want to be prime minister, and then there is that court case against him. So nobody really knows whether he's going to contest or not. So here you have the Congress party, which is the largest unit, which should have its prime minister candidate in that unit. But if he can't contest, then it's not him. Now, if, like I said, if in these 3 elections, and if they get Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, then the Congress calls the shots. But you have Mamata Banerjee, who's not going to easily give way and say, because she's the senior most out there. She's been ruling in a state for 3 terms, so it should be her. who should be the face, but then the Congress is not going to accept it, and clearly Adhir Ranjan is not even going to accept it in Bengal. So arithmetically, it's going to be extremely difficult. So if it's going to be so hard, then they're going to take what is possible, which means in a few states they will have a grouping going, and then rest of the place you fight as you want, and then we'll see after the election, like the UPA was formed earlier.
Tehseen, you have the last word on the show. Democracy was an excuse. Majboori is the name of the game. That's the reality.
Majboori is of the NDA/PAK, and that doesn't mean PAK. It means please allow Kamal. Because they have to come together and group 38 people whose president was convicted for corruption. But more importantly, the fact of the matter is this Majboot alliance will choose the prime minister as the constitution mandates. The Gandhi family has not been prime minister for the last 34 years. It is not that the Gandhi family runs behind posts. And I think the people of India have seen that. And the MPs who will win will elect the new prime minister of India, as Baba Sahib Ambedkar's constitution had told and laid the path for us.
Okay, for once, many in the Congress will then be campaigning against PAK and speaking out against PAK, and many of Team India who have a soft corner for PAK, as you put it, Tehseen, will be speaking against PAK. Your words, not mine. We're moving on. Thank you, Smita ji, Professor Subodh Kishore Tiwari for joining us. We move on. Rahul Gandhi has filed a rejoinder in the Supreme Court in the Modi surname defamation case. The disqualified Congress MP who is seeking a stay on his conviction has maintained that he is not at fault and has refused to apologize. Rahul in his affidavit has said that his case is an exceptional one and the offence is trivial. The Congress leader said that complainant Pranesh Modi described him as arrogant only because he refused to apologize. The affidavit also adds that the complainant is using the RPA to arm twist the petitioner into apologizing, calling it gross abuse of judicial process. This rejoinder, viewers, comes in response to complainant Pranesh Modi's affidavit filed in the top court a few days ago, in which BJP MLA had said that Rahul, far from being repentant, displayed arrogance while he was being sentenced by the trial court. Let's open this up very quickly. Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP, stays on. Karan Verma, author, political analyst. Tehseen Poonawalla, Ramesh Agarwal, leader of the Congress party, joins the panel. Good evening to all of you. Mr. Savarwal, Rahul Gandhi, in his affidavit to Supreme Court, says, look, I've done no wrong. I'm not apologizing.
He's right, because from the beginning he's saying like this only. In the lower court also, the high court also, and he has done nothing wrong, you know. And there's a defamation case against him, and he's went to the Supreme Court for the stay of the conviction and for his disqualification, and the matter is sub-judicial now, so it's not viable for us to comment on this, because the Supreme Court, the affidavit is in the Supreme Court. I feel that Rahulji has not done anything, and let the court decide. We are very we want a justice from Supreme Court, and we are very hopeful for that.
But Sanju Verma, why is the BJP making it a case of arrogance? Why do you think Rahul is being arrogant here?
You know, Pranesh, I just have this to say that on the 23rd of March, it was the Surat District Court. On the 20th of April, it was the Sessions Court in Surat. And then on the 7th of July, it was the Gujarat High Court. And all the three levels of hierarchy within Gujarat in the judicial process said that Rahul Gandhi, by virtue of being a member of parliament, by virtue of being a popular figure, should have the sagacity, the bandwidth and the maturity to choose his words carefully, because what he says does have an impact. And I couldn't agree more. And let's look at the track record of Rahul Gandhi, who says very audaciously that, I'm being termed arrogant and that is slanderous. Today there are 12 pending court cases against him, and I have all the details of the court cases. Your debate will end if we have to discuss that in detail. But all the 12 cases in Bhiwandi, in Mumbai, in Thane, in Pune, in Haridwar, in Ranchi, in Guwahati, Rahul Gandhi has been saying RSS murdered Mahatma Gandhi. RSS was responsible for Gauri Lankesh's killing. Amit Shah is a murder accused, despite the fact that not only the Bombay High Court but the Supreme Court has given a Chor-hai-Jai work against the Congress party, reducing them to where they are today.
No, but Sanju Verma, be that as it may, in this case, if Rahul Gandhi believes he is not in the wrong, why is the BJP calling him arrogant?
Pranesh, please, I heard that. Just 10 seconds.
What for Supreme Court are meant for?
I'll tell you why we are calling him arrogant. Do you remember the Supreme Court gave out a verdict saying that there was no commercial favoritism on the part of the Modi government with respect to the Rafale deal? It was actually inevitable to have signed the deal for interests of larger national security. These were the Supreme Court's words.
Right.
Despite that, Rahul Gandhi went about with that slanderous Chaukidar Chor-hai-Jai. Finally, Meenakshi Lekhi had to file a contempt of court case. Uske baad Rahul Gandhi finally zipped it. Who's arrogant? You don't want to believe the Supreme Court? You don't want to believe the CAG, which says there was no commercial favoritism in Rafale?
Tehseen?
You don't want to believe the electorate, which has reduced you from 400 to 52 seats? Who's arrogant? You are.
His Jodo Yatra has shown the whole country who is arrogant. The Prime Minister is not going to Manipur. He is arrogant.
Allowed to speak?
Yeah, let Tehseen come in. Tehseen, respond to what Sanju Verma just said. Yes.
जनता जनार्दन ने राहुल गांधी को दरवाजा दिखा दिया है.
Tehseen coming in now. Yes, Tehseen.
Thank you. Just two very quick points. One, fact check. Rahul Gandhi still stands by the allegations on Rafale. He apologized in the Supreme Court for attributing the comments Chaukidar Chori to the Supreme Court, not for the comments itself. Let's be very factually clear on what happened. But let's come to the larger issue. Rahul Gandhi makes a political speech in Karnataka. The BJP ex-MLA and minister who doesn't come with clean hands himself, who's made comments against the Gandhis and against the Congress, files a defamation case in Gujarat, a criminal defamation case. The criminal defamation case, then he goes to the...
Why are you sitting and crying on
No, Sanju Verma, let him speak. Let him make his point, please. He's responding to what you just said, please.
This is so unfair.
He's on a link line. Let him respond.
This man sits here and speaks gibberish 24/7.
The said MLA...
You've asked some questions, made some charges. Let him. It's not fair. Sanju Verma, please let him speak. I'll come back to you if you want to counter. I'll come back to you. Karan hasn't spoken yet. Tehseen, go ahead. Make your point quickly, please.
Thank you. The person who's filed this so-called criminal defamation, who's not gone with clean hands, himself approaches the High Court. I challenge everyone on this panel to tell me how many cases that you all know of that you go to the High Court on your own case to get a stay.
But Tehseen, miraculously after the Bharat Jodo Yatra, whether the person is clean hand, not clean hand.
Yaar. This is so unfair, yaar. Don't call me on the debate, yaar. Don't call me. I have not asked you to call me on the debate, yaar.
Let him speak.
When you call me, you hear my point of view.
Of course, we are here to hear you.
Why you, what is this behavior here? No, it's not. My entire sequence has got broken up. My viewers don't like it, yaar.
Even my viewers don't like it.
Anyways, the point of the matter
let
is,
him speak.
this man is
Sanju
not...
Verma, please, let him speak.
Then stop talking in between.
This is arrogance of the BJP.
Yes, we are arrogant.
Okay, calm down, please. Mr. Sabarwal,
Anyways,
Sanju
point
Verma,
is, long story short,
don't have
Karan has to
much
come in. Karan has to come in. The matter is now sub judice in the Honorable Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Let the Honorable Supreme Court take. Rahul Gandhi has refused to apologize, as is the right stand. I don't think this is fit for criminal defamation. The man's not come with clean hands, and this case leaves a lot to be desired. And I wish our judiciary does self-respect with respect to the judiciary.
Okay, now Karan, he said, I have the affidavit here. He says the respondent has not proven that Modi is an identifiable class of people. There is no Modi Samaj. Then he says disqualification of an MP or MLA in itself is an exceptional circumstance. So this case qualifies as one.
Let me answer that. And now the complainant has clarified that as per section 2 of the 499, there is a clear identifiable class, which is the Mod-Vanik caste, which identifies itself as Modi, which is deeply offended by this. And let me be very clear, Pranesh, this could have been passed off had Rahul Gandhi apologized, and that is where the arrogance comes. But he stands up and plays this martyr syndrome and says, "Main Rahul Gandhi hu, Savarkar nahi." What is this nonsense? He could have very easily apologized and said that if sentiments are hurt, I am sorry. I will mind my language the next time, and this could have gone on. Now he's going around saying, Modi ji ne mera ghar chhin liya mujhse. What is this martyr syndrome? You have been convicted. As per due process, you've lost your place where you were. And someone like Tehseen, someone as decent as Tehseen, if there was ever a slip of tongue by anyone, I'm sure Tehseen would have said, please apologize and move on. But alas, the politics. Here you want to play politics, you want to milk the situation, but it won't, because people are wise enough to understand that this is brazenness, this is arrogance, something that could have been nipped in the bud.
So you're saying Rahul Gandhi ki bhi majboori hai, political majboori hai. Tehseen.
Just one counter. Just one counter. Just one counter. Just one counter. Karan is factually wrong on one part. Lalit Modi and Nirav Modi do not come from the OBC Samaj. On the contrary, it's an insult to OBCs if you call these two thugs OBCs. And the Honorable Prime Minister and the Honorable Prime Minister, if the Honorable Prime Minister was offended, the Honorable Prime Minister.
Tehseen, he further said,
so then the Prime Minister should have filed a defamation case.
Rahul Gandhi said,
Tehseen, he further said,
he said that
हर चोर का नाम मोदी ही क्यों होता है? That is where the Modwani caste is offended.
Why we are discussing the fourth
Prime Minister should have.
please stop your.
But then the Honorable Prime Minister should have
filed the case.
Honorable Prime Minister will not.
But the courts, Tehseen, courts in their wisdom, the High Court in its wisdom has...
the High Court did not give them relief.
This behavior on TV stupid.
Let the Supreme Court decides.
Okay.
That's what the Supreme Court is meant for in the country.
Okay, then let the Supreme Court decide, will this help or hurt Rahul Gandhi? His stand, the BJP calls it arrogance. Rahul Gandhi believes that he should wear his conviction, no puns intended, on his sleeve, which is why this affidavit in which he says, I'm not apologizing. I thank you all for joining us. Sanju Verma, Karan Verma, Tehseen Poonawalla, Mr. Sabarwal on debate number 2 on the News Hour agenda. Viewers, thanks for watching.